Hi Virgo, my name is Olivia and this is my channel OJC Astrology, and this is going to be for Virgo Ascendant. So this is if you have Virgo Rising in the first house, Virgo's in your first house. Before I get into this video, I want to mention two things. Is that if you have a rising in the very early degrees, you may want to check out the sign before this. So for Virgo, that would be, Leo. And if you have a Virgo rising in the very late degrees, like after at least like 25, you may want to watch the next one, which is Libra. Now, the second thing that I want to mention, sorry, I'm like, but the second thing I want to mention is that personally, as an astrologer, I feel like the most important point in the chart is the ascendant because it maps out your houses and each cusp. So if you're a Virgo rising, that means your DC, your 7th house cusp is Pisces. It means your 4th house cusp, your IC is Sagittarius, and it means your midheaven, your MC cusp, your 10th house cusp is Gemini. So Virgo rising, the thing is that you guys are like perfectionist, but you're also like scientist. And one thing that I want to mention first with a Virgo rising, so to have Virgo in the first house is like if you have Mercury there, but it's not like Gemini rising where they have a lot of ideas and they want to talk, and they have all of this mental energy. For you all, you guys are truly thinking. You guys are really truly mental people. You guys very much so live in your head. Where Gemini lives in their head, Gemini rising lives in their head too, but it's more in a fickle way. It's more in a, it's not the same. It's more with Virgo rising because Mercury rules Virgo. This is more of like, you guys know the power of your thoughts. Whereas Gemini has so many thoughts, Gemini rising have so many thoughts, they can just manifest things out of nowhere. With Virgo rising, it's like you guys know the power of your thoughts. You guys are very, very mental people, and you know that everything is a mental chess game. You guys understand that. And this is why you have certain expectations of yourself, because you have already thought about these things. You guys hold yourself to a very high standard. And you don't take failure well. You really don't. You really are perfectionist in a way. But the reason I say scientist is because you really feel like the things you do need to make sense. Like if a Virgo rising is not really making sense, then they're probably in a very, very chaotic space, because that you guys for the most part believe that the moves you make and the things that you do needs to make sense, and it needs to make sense. Like that's how you guys are. So with the let me start with the 4th house. For the 4th house to be Sagittarius, one thing about Virgo rising is that usually you guys had either one parent that was really distant, or you had parents that believed different things. Like maybe one parent was into Christianity and one wasn't. You know what I mean? Or you guys usually had one parent that seemed very far away, or your parents within themselves had different beliefs, or they were kind of like on different spectrums. So you guys are coming from a very broad horizon type of background, like within your upbringing and like who you are on a soul level. Like subconsciously you guys know that there is really no right or wrong, but what there is success or failure. Like you guys deep inside, you know that it doesn't really matter what people believe in, because at the end of the day, they're going to do it or they're not going to do it, or they're going to be right or they're going to be wrong. And you guys have this very scientific way of looking at yourself and looking at the world. You're very, very critical of yourself. You're very aware of your strengths and weaknesses. And the thing is that because Sagittarius is the 4th house, you don't necessarily hold yourself back. You guys may dabble in a little bit of different religions. You may go and travel here for a little bit and like that place there, and then you like this place here. Like you can learn from other people, and a lot about who you are inside is things that you have learned through others and through certain beliefs you have studied. You guys have this soul of like, you're not tied down to anything. Usually Virgo risings are not super bent on like following a certain system or believing in something specific, because you guys take what you can use, and you guys can pull the wisdom out of anything. From all your experiences, you pull the source, you pull the reason of it, you take what you can from it, and you move on, and you you go your own way. Like, you guys don't hold yourself off into learning from other things and learning from other people. So it's like, even though you hold yourself kind of in this narrow path, like you're very, peculiar about yourself, you're not necessarily judgmental of who other people are or what they believe in. You're actually very humble. You're actually very open. Now, with the 7th house being in Pisces, here's the thing. A lot of the times you guys have had people overstep boundaries with you. Like, sometimes there wasn't a lot of boundaries in the home. There was either a lot of chaos, or there was a parent that was a little bit overly emotional that didn't have good boundaries. But the thing is that with Pisces being in your 7th house, you guys attract very spiritual people and highly intuitive people and creative people, because ultimately what you guys are seeking is this peace. Because being a Virgo rising, you're so critical of yourself, and you really, really do, even though this isn't possible, you expect perfection in a lot of ways. Like, you have this sort of expectation of perfection for yourself. And as you evolve, you learn to let that go. But the thing about Pisces being your 7th house is that you are looking to meet people that make you feel whole. Like, you are looking for real unconditional love. You are looking for complete acceptance. You are looking for people who have faith and spirituality, who have belief, who have their own talents. Like, you feel like you need that. You guys need that. You need people in your life that open you up in a way that makes you feel safe, and it makes you feel like you're not damned. You're not doomed. That you're not gonna go, be sentenced to this imperfection in a way. It's almost like what you learn from the 7th house Pisces and what you're really seeking from others is this unconditional acceptance and love, and you really want people to not box you in. Like, you are looking for people who make you feel comfortable enough for you to transcend yourself. So you love people who are open. You love people who, care, who care about what you feel, who will go and ask you, are you okay? Is that really how you felt? Like, is this, like, you are looking for that, because a lot of the times you're very, very reserved. You can be very conservative, and you don't ask for help. Virgo rising does not ask for help. And this is why Pisces is the 7th house, because you guys really are looking for someone who knows when you're okay, whether you say it or not. You're looking for someone who intuitively can pick up if you need help or not, so that you don't have to ask for it. And the thing is that you guys really want people who can read your mind in a way. But obviously that doesn't necessarily happen ever. So what it comes down to is that Virgo rising needs people in their life that brings them peace, that connects them to spirituality, because sometimes Virgo is so physical and is so realistic that they lose sight of what they believe in, and they lose their spirituality. Like, sometimes Virgo risings go through periods in their life where they're so mercurial and they're so logical and they're so like perfectionist and hard on themselves that they almost detach themselves from spirit. And this is why Pisces is the 7th house, to always bring you back and make you remember that you are perfect as you are, that you are whole as you are. No matter who you are, no matter what you believe in, you are loved. And this is what you guys need. You need people who love you, who show up for you, and who care about what you feel. Whether you're negative as fuck, like, I'm gonna fucking get fired, I'm not getting paid enough, or I shouldn't have done, like, whenever you guys are getting that manic mode and you guys get highly, highly self-critical, you need those people to show up for you and be like, listen, you can talk to me. Like, you can tell me. It doesn't have to make sense. Just get it out. Let it out. So apart from that, with the 10th house being Gemini, you guys don't want to be boxed in. This is what makes you a scientist. You are on a quest for knowledge. You are seeking knowledge. You are seeking facts. You are seeking the truth. And no matter what you do in this world, you want it to feel like it's the truth. Because and you want to feel like you're not locked in. So Virgo risings do a lot of research in their life. You guys learn a lot from people. You study people. And a lot of your legacy has to do with your quest and your thirst for knowledge. So it really benefits you guys to do things outside of your comfort zone. Like, when you go and talk with people that you're not really around, like you guys get closer to your destiny, the more and more you challenge yourself to think in a different way and to perceive things differently. Because you guys are definitely here to collect research, and you guys are definitely here to admit your truth. Like a Virgo rising, so much of your destiny has to do with your secret desire to find the truth. Like, you guys are always looking for the truth one way or another. And a lot of the times your relationships with Pisces, your relationships reflect to you the truth that you need to go seek. Like, a lot of the times your relationships are mirrors for you all, and then that triggers within you the quest, Sagittarius 4th house, the desire, the adventure, 10th house Gemini, to seek the truth. So Virgo rising is a very unique, like these people are very unique, and the thing is that they don't want to waste their time. Like, they're not going to waste their time because they feel like they're on a clock. Like, they feel like they have things to do. These are people who can follow a schedule. These are people who are great workers. They will show up and they will do their job. Like, these people do their job. They do what they know they need to do. And if they don't, then it's all on them, and they feel the pressure on themselves, and they're not going to ask anybody to help because they'll feel like that was their problem. That was something they should have done. So these are people who are hard on themselves, and this is why they could be so good to others. Like, these are people who are really great friends. Like, then they can be really great partners, and it's because of the Pisces 7th house. It's like, a lot of the times people were really hard on you and had high expectations of you. Like, usually you guys had at least one parent, or you came from an environment where you felt like there was a bar set high for you. And the thing is that this is why you give other people benefit of the doubt. This is why you make other people feel like they can still reach their potential. You make other people feel like there's still hope for them and that they can still reach wherever they're trying to go, because you know how it feels for someone to make you feel like that's not the case for you. You guys know how it feels to be judged, and you know how it feels to have a lot of pressure on you that you don't know if you're going to be able to come out on top. So one thing I want to mention, with the 10th house being Gemini, this means your 9th house is Taurus, and your 12th house is, what am I on right now? Virgo. So you have Taurus in your 9th house, and you have Leo in your 12th house. So for my Virgo risings, because you have Leo in the 12th house, so the 12th house is very much so your unconscious self. It's the spirit of who you are. It's very much so your spirit. It's like the spirit of you, where you are your first house, but who you are, the spirit of that, is your 12th. So Virgo risings have the heart of a lion. You guys have the heart of a lion. You guys have the Leo 12th house. And because Leo is the 12th house, you guys are deeply, deeply loyal to your dreams. Like, you're very loyal to your dreams. You feel like you have either some destiny. A lot of you guys you're very, very artistic. You're very, very, you love pleasure. Like, you guys have a lot of desires and stuff and dreams. You guys love to just like, you guys are the type of people that love to just have drinks and do stuff that's fun, and everybody kind of lets loose and lets their creative self shine. You guys have this royal spirit, and this is why you put so much on your plate, because deep inside, you guys know that you have this spirit of royalty. You know that you're kings and queens, and this is why you hold yourself accountable, and this is why you work as hard as you do, and this is why you are this perfectionist. You are this scientist seeking answers, because you feel personally responsible for things. You feel like you have what it takes. Like, having Leo in the 12th house is, you know that you have what it takes to make your dreams come true. So you hold yourself to that, and you guys will pursue with all your heart. Like, you have big, big hearts and spirits. And you guys are really good with children too, because of that, because of the 12th house being in Leo. Like, you can really kind of like be around kids and stuff, because you understand the nature of yourself. You understand that everybody has an inner child and it deserves to be explored. But in your life, sometimes you have to remember your 12th house Leo. When you get too perfectionist and when you get too hard on yourself, you have to give yourself pleasure. You have to let yourself enjoy things. This is why sometimes Virgos, like, they work all week Virgo risings, they work all week and then they party on the weekend, you know, and they let loose. And that's the 12th house Leo, is that it can't all be all work. It has to be play. You guys work because you want to play, and that's your 12th house Leo. Like, you want to achieve and you want to do all of this stuff because deep down you want this freedom to for romance, for expression, for art. Like, everything you do is for that artist in you, that child in you that's still there. And now with your 9th house being Taurus, the 9th house is basically a house that it represents Jupiter and Sagittarius and our ascension, how we learn, how we develop wisdom. So we learn a lot from the sign of our 9th house. And for you guys, your 9th house is Taurus. And what you can learn from Taurus is that, how can I put this? You learn from Taurus as a Virgo rising because your values are everything. Virgo rising has to learn how to never compromise them, never compromise yourself. You have to stay true to what you value. There's always gonna be this traditional either belief system or these traditional values that you guys stay true to. Like, the greatest advice I could give to a Virgo rising and how to utilize their 9th house Taurus is that some things you will believe in and you will hold as a value, and you should never go against it, because there are some part, like, this is how you learn. Like, this is how you learn. Because with your 4th house being Sagittarius, you guys are going to be open. Like, you guys are going to be open to go through different experiences. And with the 10th house Virgo, with the 10th house Gemini, you may sometimes play different roles and try different jobs, and you may, like, go and do all of these different things. Like, you guys are highly, highly mutable and adaptable. You know, with the heart of the lion, with the 12th house Leo, you guys are not necessarily afraid. Like, you can be fearless when you need to be. You can be brave when you need to be. So what you can learn is that sometimes a Virgo rising needs to stay in one place and build. Sometimes Virgo rising needs to be like, this is what I value, and even though I have this option and I have this going on and there's this possibility, this is what's true for me. This is what I value. This is what I stand for. Virgo rising has to find something they truly stand for before they can explore. And this is where you learn from Taurus, because you need some type of traditional quality to you. You need something to hold on to that like serves you in a very standard way. Practical. You guys are here to, like, sometimes taking a practical approach serves you all better. So sometimes for Virgo rising, you learn from the Taurus 9th house is that you stay in something and you get better at it. Like, you guys know that, like, you can keep mastering something. Like, there's gonna come a point in every Virgo rising's life where they have to stay down and become a master at something because they believe in it and because they value it. So it's very important that you guys discover what these traditional values are that you behold, so then you can utilize them. Like, some Virgo risings will believe that, like, all of you guys have some type of value system that you never will budge on. That's your key to learn. Like, when you feel the most crazy in life or chaotic, go to the Taurus 9th house. What is that belief? What is it that you know you will always learn from, that you know is true for you? Like, and there's a stability in that. Like, for a lot of you guys, you end up in your life, you end up believing in something very stable and it never changes. Like, for example, this could be that you all believe God is a woman, right? Like, let's say that's a belief that you really believe. That's a Taurus belief, right? Like, Gaia is a woman, right? The earth is a woman. So in your life, that is going to serve you, because whenever you feel chaotic, you can go to that and be like, all right, well, this is what I know, this is what's true, and it's like it almost helps stabilize you all. So there is you guys have to find something that you truly believe in, and you have to stand for it, and it has to be a stable belief. Because then when you have that stable belief, you can go to the 10th house and talk about it, and study it, and research it, and bring it to the public place, you know, and adapt, and do magic, right? But it comes from that belief. And the thing is that with the 12th house Leo, it has to mean something to your heart. So, like, a lot of you believe things that like are true. Like a lot of you guys have certain beliefs embedded in your heart with the 12th house Leo, and then with the Taurus in the 9th house, you know that that is true. Like that's never going to be different. For some of y'all, it's like you value family. You know what I mean? Or like you value education. There are certain things that in your heart you guys value, and you have to always value it. You can never budge on that. Certain beliefs you cannot budge on. That is a key for a Virgo rising. But it's also because you guys are so open. So sometimes you do have to be fixed. Sometimes you do have to tap into that stability and not budge on it. And that is what keeps you centered and grounded and not feel like you're going all over the place. But overall, Virgos are really here to help. Like you guys are here to help, and above all, you help yourself. You don't expect anybody to do anything for you. You don't expect anybody to help you, but that doesn't mean that you don't secretly wish they would. And that is the Pisces 7th house. Secretly deep down, you want that. Secretly deep down, you want someone who just shows up and wants to help you just for the sake of it. Not because you had to ask or not because you needed it, because they genuinely care. And you guys will go out of your way for people. You will work on stuff for people. If people need something, they will call you and ask you to help. And 9 out of 10 times you guys are there. And the thing is that with so much ability to manifest and with so much ability to analyze and come up with forms, like you, all Virgo risings have some type of like method. You guys have some type of like hypothesis for the world. You have some type of structure that you stick by, and the thing is that it works for you. Like you guys are ultimately people who are seeking to find the things that work for you. But just know that sometimes like the way that you will actually achieve and reach the status you want is by trying things that you're not sure if they will work. So always keep that in mind. Always be open-minded, Virgo. Like stay true to what you know is true, but don't let that hold you back from exploring what could be true, because this is what opens you all up to more of your potential. Because there's a world out there, Virgo, that you can find. Virgo is finding cures for things. Virgo is finding cures for everyone and everything. Virgo is seeking research so that they can apply it to themselves and master themselves and give themselves everything that they want. So that's what I have for Virgo rising. I'm sending you all my love. Thank you so much for just being who you all are. You guys always show up and you always do the work, and nobody ever has to do it for you. But that's exactly why you deserve someone who will. And that's what I have for Virgo rising. So thank you guys for being here. If you like this video, you can like, you can share, you can comment, and ultimately subscribe to my channel. And now let's get into Libra rising. So